Good morning. We are out at the scene of a shooting. About 4 o'clock this morning, there was a large party going on here in this building. The building behind me is an old Knights of Columbus hall that it appears that it's not even supposed to be occupied. It looks like they've got illegal hookups to it with water and electricity coming in. So it was a rave type party that was actually advertised on social media. What we have at this point, or what we know at this point, is that around 4 o'clock this morning, we were called out for a report of a shooting. A young lady, 21 years of age, is dead here on the scene. And another young man, about 29 years of age, was also shot. He survived and is at a local hospital. But what we believe happened is there was a large party, some sort of a disagreement, clearly between some groups of people, and this young lady was shot and died here at the scene. Other than that, we have very little information to go on. This is one of those situations where we know, I think we talked to a total of about 20 witnesses that stuck around, but my understanding is that the vast majority of the people that were here took off before we arrived. And it's one of those stories, one of those incidents, pretty frustrating for law enforcement, that even though there was plenty of people around, nobody saw anything. Everybody's looking the other way. Somebody was in the bathroom, and it's just extremely frustrating that a little girl, 21 years of age, is now dead, and nobody's able to give us enough information. So what we're asking for is anybody that may have been here earlier in the night, maybe shooting video, which is possible at a party. We'd like you to come forward and tell us what it was that you saw or heard. My understanding is that there was some sort of employees here, bartenders, security guards. Those are the people we really want to talk to. And so we're asking anybody that's got information to give us a call, 210-335-6000, or they can also email us at bcsotips@bear.org. Spanish? Okay. Esta mañana, aproximadamente a las 4 de la mañana, había una fiesta grande que estaba aquí en este edificio. El edificio, la fiesta obviamente era ilegal, no tienen utilidades aquí en este edificio. Se aparenta que están robando agua y electricidad para tener fiestas, pero se aparenta que mucha gente estaban aquí. Habían avisado al público que iban a tener esta fiesta por medio de redes sociales, pero se piensa que mucha gente estaban aquí. Había un argumento que escaló hasta el punto que una jovencita de 21 años de edad falleció a causa de un balazo a la cabeza. Otra víctima fue baleada, un hombre de 29 años de edad. Él sufrió un balazo también. Él hasta ahorita ha sobrevivido su herida. Ahorita no tenemos mucha información. Ninguno de los testigos nos pudo dar información. Entonces nosotros pensamos que hay otros testigos más allá que se fueron antes de que nosotros llegáramos y quisiéramos que alguien venga y nos dé la información. El número es 335-6000, o también nos pueden mandar email por bcsotips@bear.org. Ahorita es una tragedia que obviamente esta niña perdió su vida y nadie nos puede dar información, pero ya sabemos que hay alguien más allá que tienen la información que nosotros necesitamos. Any questions?
Was someone detained? We saw you guys put somebody in.
So we do have at least one young man under arrest that's got a warrant for possession of controlled substance. He was also in possession of a weapon. Interestingly enough, he had already left and came back looking for a cell phone. But he happened to be in possession of a weapon and had an outstanding warrant for a felony drug charge, unrelated. So he was taken into custody for that warrant and, of course, for the possession of the handgun. At this point, I don't have any indication that he was the shooter, but anything's possible at this point as well. We did take his, y'all noticed that he came out with a different pair of pants. We did seize his pants because they had what we consider to be blood evidence on them. But again, we don't have any direct information that he's our shooter.
You said that there was a boy that was taken to the hospital. How old was he again?
29 years of age. He was shot in the lower extremities, is all I know. And it appears that he's going to have non-life-threatening injuries at this point.
Do we know if the man and woman were related at all?
I don't believe that they were. My understanding is this is a pretty decent-sized building, that it was packed at one point. We only have about 20 people that we're able to stick around, so I think the vast majority of the people here took off. Now, being here is not necessarily illegal. So I would urge anybody that has any information or if they shot video during the incident, we want you to come forward. A young girl lost her life here, and we can't just let that go unsolved because somebody doesn't want to report that they were at an illegal meeting, at an illegal party in a building that should not be hosting parties. And so, again, we're just asking anybody with any information to please come forward, 210-335-6000, or you can also email us at bcsotips@bear.org. We just want to see the video or hear your side of the story. ¿Mande? No, sí arrestamos un sospechoso, pero él, se aparenta que él se fue cuando pasó el incidente, pero ya se regresó porque había perdido su teléfono celular. Él regresó a buscar el teléfono, pero él tenía orden por su arresto por drogas, por algo no relacionado a esto, pero también estaba armado, entonces lo arrestamos a él. Le quitamos los pantalones, le dimos otros pantalones, pero le quitamos los pantalones de él porque tenía sangre. Entonces, ahorita no tenemos información que él es el sospechoso que le tiró a la mujer, pero todo es posible ahorita. La víctima es un hombre de 29 años de edad que él sufrió una herida, me parece que una pierna. Él sobrevivió su herida, pero también buscamos información tocante a quién le disparó a él también.
You mentioned that this invitation circulated on social media. Do we know the organizers of this party?
That's what we're trying to figure out. Right now, we do have what appears to be a flyer, I think, that was circulating, but I don't know who the organizers were. Obviously, that'll be something that we're looking into in the aftermath of this. And then we do have, I believe we do have some party video that we're looking at that was taken off of a website. So again, I know that there's video out there existing. The cold-blooded part about this, and you kind of debating to myself whether we should have said anything or not, it's pretty disturbing that we do have information from some of the witnesses that people sat there and videotaped this little girl as she was dying, taking her last breath. That's about as cold-blooded and disturbing as you can get, that this little girl's dying. She's gasping for air, and they're videotaping her as she's dying. So again, I know that there's video out there that exists. We want people to come forward and let us know. La información que nosotros tenemos es que tragediamente esta niña, cuando ya iba falleciendo a causa del balazo que ella sufrió, gente estaba tomando video en sus teléfonos celulares mientras que ella estaba muriendo de un balazo. En vez de ayudarle, estaban tomando video. Entonces, eso les pedimos al público que, por favor, si tienen información, quién estuvo involucrado en este homicidio, que por favor nos hablen. We don't know. We don't know if she was the intended victim or if there was something else that occurred. Again, the witnesses that are here on scene aren't very helpful, but it's extremely frustrating. I know there's somebody out there that saw something, and it's got to be bothering them. It's got to be getting to them at this point. Again, we're asking them to come forward.
Are you looking for one shooter at this point? How many shots were fired?
Well, it's possible that there's several shooters, right? We do have at least 2 victims hit. They were not standing together. They were in different parts of the party. So, I mean, anything's possible. It's possible there were multiple shooters. It's possible that somebody just indiscriminately started shooting. We just don't know. But again, I'm fairly confident that there's video of it out there, and somebody will come forward and do the right thing. No, I mean, we're hearing anything from 2 to 3. We know at least 2. There's 2 victims shot, 1 time each. But it's possible there were multiple. It was a pretty loud party, loud music. And again, just the fact that you were here, yes, it was an illegal party, but the fact that you were here doesn't necessarily make it illegal. So again, do the right thing and come forward and help us solve this murder. Ahorita no se sabe si la mujer, si intentaron o quisieron matar a esta niña, pero es lo que pasó, obviamente. Nosotros nomás simplemente queremos saber, la fiesta se aparenta que era ilegal, pero nomás con estar aquí no es ilegal. Entonces queremos que alguien que venga con nosotros para darnos esa información. No es necesario que ellos se vayan a meter en problemas, solamente queremos la información. Y también es importante decir que aunque los testigos sean indocumentados, por ejemplo, todavía nos pueden dar la información como testigo a un delito. Tienen derechos y les podemos ayudar. No es necesario que tengamos que deportar a una persona. Si son testigos, queremos que se sientan confortables dándonos la información.
¿Y va a hacer cargos a las personas que subieron esta fiesta?
Bueno, si se sabe, si se puede averiguar quiénes son las personas que organizaron esta fiesta, sí es posible que ellos se vayan a enfrentar con cargos por eso, pero es más importante para nosotros poder decir quién mató a esta niña y valió al otro muchacho. Sure. If we're able to determine who the party organizers were, although it was an illegal party, right? They shouldn't have been having it. It's possible that they may face some charges, but for right now, priority number one is to find out who shot this young lady and killed her, and then who shot the young man. At this point, it's possible there are multiple shooters, but again, we just want to solve the murder first and foremost, and then we'll figure out what else happens from there.
Any idea how many people might have been here?
All we're told is it was packed, and it's a big building. It's not a small shack. It's a pretty decent-sized building. If it was packed wall to wall, then we have every reason to believe there could have been upwards of 100 witnesses. I know that being a party setting, people were shooting video of it. We want that video. And obviously, for us, the other charges are secondary to solving who killed this young lady. Thank you very much. It's what it was, but obviously it's not that anymore.
Is this some walk over there where that stuff is?
Oh, you wanted something else? Okay. I'll tell you what, I'm going to let my PIOs handle that. You got the details out. You want to do it? You're not.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I think they're also
Yeah, Johnny, you said it was Old Highway 90, you said?
President and South President.
Okay, that's right. Okay. And what time?
Overnight.
Night before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I borrow you for the mic?
Absolutely.